Hey everyone, Kevin here with Divinely Design, and I have a mixed media layout today. This one was actually a suggestion from someone on Stamp Nation. We had been posting about what are your holiday baking traditions, and I mentioned that I had a card, an old recipe card that my mom had given to me that her mom had given to her, and it was this sort of family cookie recipe. They're not a like a super yummy cookie. My family on my mom's side is Pennsylvania Dutch, and they always have sort of very simple, homey, good, very like fill your belly kind of cooking. But this cookie is really meant to be eaten with coffee or hot tea or milk or something. It's more of like a sweet cracker. But anyway, so it's a very simple recipe. It's egg, sugar, butter, baking soda, and flour. So this is the actual card, the recipe card down here. And so this card is, I don't know, 50, 60 years old. On this side is sort of the chocolate recipe, but we never made the chocolate recipe. We only made the very simple one. And so when my mom passed this down to me, she gave me this card, and on it, but there's no amount for flour. So I said, well, how much flour am I supposed to add? And she said, well, you add flour until it's right, and that was her direction. So anyway, we were talking about that, and I mentioned that story, and somebody said, oh, that would make a great photo layout, if you include that card on the page itself. And I thought that would be a really good idea. So I decided to do a Christmas one, because we always made these cookies at Christmas, and I actually had pictures of Mom and I making them. So this is from, my mom always used to make them, and I would go and help her, but as she got older, she sort of passed it to me, so I would make the holiday cookies, and so she came down and she would help me. So this is us one year making holiday cookies, and just a couple of really good pictures. We made tons of cookies this particular year, so we made these cookies as well as chocolate chip cookies, and I think we made peanut butter cookies, and we made a whole mess of cookies this year. So this is us sort of rolling it out, my mom cutting it, and then this is a sheet where we were decorating some of these cookies right here, and then this is us sort of at the very end of the day packaging up all of our cookies. But anyway, so I thought I'd go over the mixed media layout. So it's a 12 by 12 paper, and this is a piece of pattern paper from a holiday catalog, holiday paper. Actually, it's not a holiday. It's from Authentique. Nostalgic Essentials, I guess, is the name of it. But it just had like musical notes on it, and I don't know exactly why that made, but I like the color. I like that there was red in it, and it sort of had this imperfect kind of tan background to it. So that was the 12 by 12 I started out with. I covered it with some Finnibair Art Basics Clear Gesso, and that was sort of where I started everything from. Then I used some embossing. This is Wendy Vecchi's embossing paste, and I used a stencil. Let's see if I have it here somewhere. I think it's the Crafter's Workshop. Oh, here it is. Hold on. No, I'm right. I'm wrong. This is the Americana Doily. It's a really big stencil. So I used that to do some stenciling in the background, kind of up here and down at the bottom here, just to give a little texture. I used some Blue Fern Studio chipboard pieces again, which I really like. So there's some here, sort of framing the recipe card, and then Follow Your Bliss is one of them. These are called Symphony Corners Small by Blue Fern Studios. So for these, I actually took some spray. I think I used Heidi Swapp Citron, and then I actually used, I got these mini misters. These are a Ranger product that you can kind of mix up your own misters. So I know some of you know that I make soap, and for soap I have lots of mica powders because they're used in coloring the soap. So I took some of those micas that I have, I took some fluorescent ones I actually have, and put them in these mini misters. So this is actually a mica from TKB Trading Company, which is an online source where I got these neon powders, and then I mixed it up. And it's actually a combination of water and alcohol in here. But I just mixed up a couple of them. They work okay. Some of them work better than the others. But this bottle, actually, the sprayer, I guess it got clogged pretty quickly. So I just used my paintbrush and kind of then painted over it. For this one, I actually did something I've never done before, which was gold leaf. So I used this metal gold leaf that I got at a craft store near me, and kind of put some, I started out with just some matte medium on it, and you know, left it liquid and then put the gold foil over it. That didn't work great. It worked okay. So what I ended up using, the matte medium left it really splotchy. There were some areas that didn't have gold on them, and it was really hard to get it back on. So I used a spray adhesive, and let's see if I have it. Oh, it's just an Elmer's product. Elmer's Craft Bond multi-purpose spray adhesive. So I sprayed it on, and I gave it a few seconds to dry, not real long, but I just let it get tacky, and then I put a sheet of the gold foil over it, and that seemed to work much better. And then I just took a stiff brush and kind of brushed away the rest of it. It was actually a pain to do. I've never done it before. It took a long time. It probably took me close to an hour just to do that little piece. I probably should have just started with the spray adhesive, and I probably should have let it kind of get tacky and just gone from there. But anyway, I like the end look of it. It looks pretty cool. And then I just have some silk flowers, some little pine leaves. This is from a Christmas decoration, some holly leaves, and kind of some berries I colored with a Spectrum Noir marker, DR5. They were white, and I colored them. I have some paper flowers that I got from my craft store. These were on sale. They were $2 for a pack of 12, which was pretty good, that I used some sprays on. And the sprays are what I use to do the background color itself. Again, I've sort of been on a spray kick, I guess. So I used some Dylusions sprays, cherry pie and fresh lime, and then the Heidi Swapp ones, which I really like because they have kind of a shimmer in them, cherry and citron. I also used, let's see, I used some matte medium, a Liquitex, to adhere the pictures to the foil frames that I put on them. And then I used some super gloss Mod Podge on the brackets here to give them some shine. Finally, to do some depth, I used some shading kind of around the card and the chipboard elements, around the edges of the pictures. And I used a combination. I used Tim Holtz Distress Marker Vintage Photo, and then some Faber Castell big brush pens. This one's called Caput Mortum. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And Raw Umber. And these are pretty cool. I kind of like them. You can kind of well, this doesn't have gesso on it, but you can kind of spread them and then use your finger to fade them in and out on a non-porous surface. So since this was prepped with gesso, I was able to do that. You sort of rub it on and use your finger, or you can use a wet towel or something, a baby wipe. So that's it. So I like the way it came out, and let me see if I can get some, especially this, because this came out pretty shiny. I really like the shine on that gold foil that came out. And then hopefully you can kind of see some of the shimmer that is on the background. Maybe down here is probably a little bit better. You can see the paper. The paper has some shimmer to it. And there are just some of the paper flowers and little silk elements I added on to them. The spray I used for the paper flowers also has some shimmer in it. So yeah, so I like it. I think it has a very holiday, you know, red, green, gold, or kind of my color scheme here. And I love the pictures. I think they're great, along with the card. I think it just made a really great layout for it. So, okay, that's it. Comments, questions, leave them below. If you like this video, click on that thumbs up button. If you like paper crafting, card making, soap making, bath and beauty product kind of stuff, click on that subscribe button. And check back here at Divinely Designed for more videos. Thanks very much, everybody, and Happy New Year, everyone.